welcome to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we have a great show set up for you today. And this is the Tucson Tasty Show, your favorite food talk radio. And we have Cody Peck of Network Outdoors, or Cody Peck, your financial guy, Cody Peck, and he can be reached at
520-262-9968.
Thank you for joining us.
If you have any questions, please do not send any text messages to that. Send that to Wesley at thetastyshow.com.
There we go, thetastyshow.com. And this would not be the Tucson Tasty Show without all of our amazing sponsors. And that's Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Vera Oral Premium Beef, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and we've got Allegra Print, Mail, and Signs. We're going to talk a little bit more about them in just a little bit. And Copper State Forge. Now, Copper State Forge I'm really excited about because they've kicked in on not only the Tucson Tasty Show, but knife fights too. And they're going to actually provide a set of their pans for knife fight. So we're super excited about that. I mean, their pans are incredible, and in fact, we probably should get them hooked up with you or with Seared Living as well. We have Casey, the owner of Seared Living, with us here today. Good to see you, Casey.
Yeah, hey, good to be here.
And Copper State Forge is hand-forged carbon steel pans, and they actually pre-season them, and you can. I'm pretty sure you can stick them right in the pizza oven because you guys sell pizza ovens, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. We sell the Gosney pizza ovens, kind of new to the U.S. They were born in the U.K. and they moved their corporate office over here to the U.S. in Salt Lake City. So
beautiful.
They love America, but they were born in the U.K. So
fair enough.
We've had one guy from the U.K. come in the store. I'm not buying them now. They're from the U.S.
We also have the meeting room coming in for the second half of the show, so you got to stay through the whole show. The meeting room is in Sonoyta, and they do amazing mead. And if you don't know what mead is, then you're going to get a great explanation for that too. And always we have.
Well, we were there last week.
We were, of course. Well, if we have guests coming in, we have to go visit them and find out once again what amazing things they have to offer. Right?
What are meads?
Mead is a honey wine. So
I knew that, but most people on the radio probably don't know that. A lot of people don't. I didn't know until I owned the store. So
really, all right. Well,
it's been around for a very long time.
It has been.
I think it's one of the first alcohols ever made.
Weren't you telling me about some historic thing like in Egypt? You got a day off to make mead
and beer. Yes,
and beer. Yeah.
Yes, you can actually have a request a day off for that. They recently found a tablet that literally listed reasons of why people missed work, and one was like off with boss, and then other ones were like brewing beer or mead or something like that.
And we're not going to talk about anybody anymore, any of the other ones.
No, we're talking about the other ones.
There were some weird reasons. And we've got to say happy birthday to Zio Pepe. They just turned 3 years old. You got to join us at Zio Pepe on June 10th, and we're going to be recording the TV episode, and it's going to be open. You got to get reservations because it's starting to fill up quick. And you can call Zio Pepe directly and get those reservations and come out and support the restaurant and see us live recording the TV show and me messing everything up in the kitchen because I am not a chef. But they keep putting me to work.
But you placed 22nd in the favorite chef in Tucson.
I actually got bumped to 20th, just so you
20th?
know. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I made the final round. I don't know what's happening.
Do you bring this whole setup to on location?
Well, we actually have a cameraman for the TV show. So
is it Cody? Is he a cameraman and a finance guy?
No, we have cameraman.
No, you don't want me to do camera photography. I tend to point the camera the wrong way.
Fair enough. One of the producers for the TV show is Dalton Voss, and he does an amazing job for us. So we're super excited about him. But he does all the camera work, and he's very confident, and he's the kind of the director and guides us. We give him a vision for the show, and then he tells me what I'm doing wrong. It's great. Just like the chefs go, no, not like that, like this. And we get it on camera, and it's going to be fun. The first episode airs July 6th, and that'll be on the CW and the King on 9.
Can you believe that's just a month away?
No, I'm terrified, actually, because it's a TV show. So, right. And so why don't we get into a little bit about what Seared Living is, because Seared Living is one of the newest gourmet grocery store outlets, right?
Yeah, we've actually this year we hit our first year, so we made it through the first year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so we named it Seared Living because my wife and I just love to cook, and it's the seared stands for all things that it's the texture that creates flavor, and then the living part is it's where we like to live a lifestyle with a lot of texture and flavor, and we have all the products to do that, to help with your cooking, and cooking in general can be a lifestyle. It's just a lot of fun to
Don't
learn.
I know that?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to eat.
Yes.
The food too that you cook.
So do you have any exotic meats at this grocery store?
Yeah, we do actually. Probably the most infamous one is our.
I can't get
it's-
out of a conversation without you bringing something up about
It's
exotic
called,
meats.
What can I say? Network Outdoors.
Pig and fig terrine. So it's a mixture of all the fun stuff in a pig that wouldn't be in a normal salami, like liver,
Interesting.
heart, ground all up. Yeah.
But
and
you
it's-
really don't have a deli counter, and that's what I think
No,
he's
we
after
have a
more
deli
than anything
cooler.
else.
So
Yeah.
we do a lot of dry aged meats and stuff for
Ooh.
charcuterie. So that's what
Okay.
charcuterie stands for.
I've got to
is
introduce you to
meat.
my friends at Vera Earl Premium Beef because they do some amazing things, and their beef snacks are actually really tasty. I don't know if you've had Vera Earl Premium Beef, but
I
I
have
probably
not.
could get you some samples. I know Wild Garlic, your neighbor, uses their beef quite a bit.
That would be great because, yeah, we're always looking to add local things. You know, being kind of new to Tucson, we moved here from Montana, and we've still been looking for a lot of local products that we can introduce at the store.
Can I pass your information on to them?
Absolutely.
Perfect. See, there it is. That's why we're doing the show, right?
Yeah.
To get or make connections to other businesses. Awesome.
Awesome. So from Montana, are you a hunter?
I have hunted, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll have to chat some more then.
Yeah. I don't claim to be as big of a hunter. I've got a brother-in-law that's a super serious hunter. So after seeing him, like, I don't say I'm a hunter.
I think
this guy lives in the wilderness.
I think Cody is setting you up for something right now, and I think let me feed you to the punchline here. So Network Outdoors is a great networking group that gets together, and it brings like-minded people together, and you can go hunting, fishing, plinking, which is target shooting, and other things in the local area. But it's a group that gets together and does it instead of you going out by yourself and doing it. And a little bit more controlled environment, which is good, especially when you're around some of those different things. And they do archery and family days and skeet shooting is going to be the newest one, right? Wednesday is the first skeet shoot.
Wednesday, yes, over by the Southeast Regional Shooting Center, which is right next to the Pima
County
Fairgrounds.
Yeah, the Pima County skeet range. Right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
Trap and Skeet Range, which is super
5 to
super awesome
8:30.
because it's only like 5 minutes from my house, but it's like 55 minutes from yours.
Oh, that's why you're in charge of it now.
Oh, no.
I wrote your name on all the paperwork and signed it, so don't worry.
Oh, good. You can't reproduce my signature. I developed that over time to make sure that nobody would be able to look. And it's see, nobody could copy that.
That's when you do a lot of signatures. That's what you do.
You just didn't realize one day when I gave you a paper to sign, I got a POA out of you, so we're good.
I got to start reading the papers that you give me.
You know, a lot of the credit card companies don't even require a signature anymore. So
That's
most
terrible.
people don't know how to spell their name anymore.
Is that why when I have those signature pads, I just draw a circle and a smiley face, and nobody ever says anything?
They charge you double for that one.
Oh, that's fair. So with Seared Living, I absolutely agree with you. That is actually some of the caramelizing. Say steak, right? Caramelizing a steak, getting that crispy outside is searing the steak off. You're
Exactly.
locking in the juices, but you get that texture and everything else that everybody likes. So I can appreciate that. And how do you do that with so you do have pizza ovens as well, along with some oils and vinegars and other things. But go ahead and we'll start talking about it, and then we'll have to go to a break.
We've got the top three things that we sell at our store are the number one, single estate olive oils and balsamic vinegars, all out of the same farm in Italy. So that's a big thing, is the single estate. And then the balsamic vinegars are all from Modena, And then the flavors all infused in Bozeman, Montana by a small mom and daughter company that have been around for 12 years. And we found them 12 years ago. And we started cooking with their products, searing with their olive oils, and doing different marinades with their balsamics and olive oils mixed together. So we've been customers since they've been around, and we're like, someday we got to sell this stuff because it's so good.
So it's a single source olive oil, delicious, and that's probably why it tastes the way it does. And it's from Italy, which is great. And so, have you been over to the Seared Living yet?
I have not been over there.
Okay.
I should do a tour over there.
Yeah. Well, you should take your special someone over there, because they also have some amazing wines.
We do.
Yeah.
We cannot sample wines currently yet.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's another license.
Fair enough. But you do sample the olive oils and the vinegar, and you have so many different varieties, and you brought in some amazing stuff for us to try, and we're going to try that right after this break. And so it's just a really short break, so stay through, and we'll be right back. I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be back with more with our co-host Cody, and Cody the finance guy, yes. And thank you to our sponsors: Kiki Rogers Country Financial Insurance, Vero Premium Beef, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Your Financial Guy Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and Allegra Print Mail Signs, and Copper State Forge. I'm your host. Stay tasty, Tucson. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we have Casey of Seared Living here with Cody Peck of Network Outdoors, and we're talking all things olive oil, all things pizza ovens, and all things imports, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Which is
just
super
getting used to
exciting.
the microphone over here.
Fair enough. And we're gonna do the Tasty Bites with Tucson Tasty Show early. I looked to producer Tina to find out what words I'm trying to use, because we usually do this in the third segment. But anyways, and you brought in some really great stuff. But before we try anything, I have to. We had a question that came in on the break. What is so special about single source olive oil, and why is it different from what you're getting in the grocery stores?
Yeah, so a lot of big olive oil companies that sell to big chain grocery stores, in order to keep the price down, they will mix different olive oils from all around the world. So they could be pressed in Africa, a lot down in Chile, or down South America. And it totally affects the taste, and when they're transporting it to get it to mix it, it affects the freshness also. So the single source it really affects the quality and the freshness and the flavor, and you can taste that when you come in, and we have the whole tasting table, and that's immediately what people notice right away.
Right. No, that's what I would call or say about it as well. Though that's awesome. That's perfect answer.
Same goes for the flavored olive oils too. When you start with a good base, same with anything cooking, that base is going to show in the final product. So even our flavored, some bigger flavored olive oil companies, also to keep the price down, use cheaper mixed olive oil, but then try to mask the bad olive oil flavor with flavors.
That's fair.
And, yeah.
So when we're getting a black truffle olive oil, which I'm eyeing this bottle that you brought in, because what an amazing attempt. And I brought in some really special bread from Zio Pepe. Devin Sanner, chef Devin Sanner and Matt made some bread for a special, and that's what I was doing right before the show. So let's get this popped open.
Well, what is this barrel aged dark?
Oh, we're not there yet. We're gonna do one at a time, Cody.
All right.
So let's talk about the drink really quick.
All right. So we also brought in some Pellegrino sparkling water. It's just plain, and we added a little bit of our peach balsamic vinegar from Modena. And it doesn't take much, but vinegar is really good for you. Also, that's another thing about our balsamic vinegars. They're non-pasteurized, so they carry the natural cultures, kind of like my wife drinks a lot of kombucha, so it's similar, really good for you.
What is that?
Kombucha or this?
Kombucha, yes.
We'll talk about kombucha another time because we'll have to get one of the team makers in. So this is really good. It's refreshing, and I could see drinking this like next to the pool, but maybe a little ginger would be kind of push it over the top. What do you think?
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
I was just picturing you in a swimsuit next to the pool.
There's pictures out
off
there.
Topic.
He's got a pink flamino suit. I'll send you the picture.
I knew the finance
Speedo.
guy had something on it.
Yeah, of course he does. No, one of the most infamous pictures of me in the pool is holding a pineapple with full of Dole Whip. Anyways.
All right, next one will be with this peach
That was a
balsamic
cruise,
from
by the
Seared
way.
Living.
Yes. That was what?
Nothing. I said it was a cruise.
It was not. I've never been on a cruise. The only never mind. I'm not going to talk about my military experience here. Dive into some bread here,
Get some bread, Cody.
and let's see what we got.
I'm gonna break some bread here.
All right.
Alrighty.
So this bread is actually really ingenious the way that they did this.
Is this their mesquite bread?
Yes, this is the
Ooh.
mesquite bread that they use.
And then here, with the balsamics, they come with a spill-proof cork.
Mm.
That is
So,
very important for me.
Yeah. Just dip a little or pour a little bit on there on your.
Perfect. So we're pouring it out, and let's see if we can. I'm stealing your camera. Sorry.
It's a very strong smell, Cody. Kind of like big game hunting. And
There we
then
go.
we also have the barrel aged dark. So this is aged 10 years. It's the thick glaze, and it's made with a little more grape must content than most vinegars. So you'll see it's really thick as we pour it out. See that?
Wow.
So the bottle that I have at home, I actually put a sticker on, so it's labeled with the Tucson Tasty Show, and we'll have to get some labeled out for you. So would you mix these two together? This is a barrel age. So what does that mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we were talking earlier, it's aged in barrels for up to 10 years, and then it's oak barrels, so it's got the higher grape must content also to make it the thick glaze. So it's almost like a reduction. A lot of restaurants will reduce vinegars to get that thick glaze. So for the common cook in the kitchen, they can just use this as a reduction.
What do you think, Cody?
This is amazing.
I told you we got to take your better half over there. All right, so we're going in. Let's do this bite.
Oh man. This bread with the olive oil by itself, with the vinegar by itself, and then mixturing.
So the complexity with that vinegar, barrel-aged vinegar, and then the truffle oil is something that I was not expecting. Because usually I'm a purist when it comes to the truffle. So it's truffle and that's it. But this is over the top.
It's made with real truffle, so it's one of very few olive oils we have that are a little different priced, only by a couple dollars, just because of the ingredients are real.
So what would you use the olive oil with on the black truffle?
So the most I've used it for is making breakfast sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
I toss the greens, so some lettuce or whatever type of greens you would like, some spinach, in this truffle with a little bit of the balsamic, and then that on your and then a little bit of truffle with your eggs.
You got to
that sandwich is
cook it with the eggs,
yeah.
right?
You got to sear your toast. So Seared Living.
Yeah.
You got to get that texture
Sear
that
the
creates the
toast,
flavor.
The crunch.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Which
What's
this bread would be doing if it was fresh, but it's a little old, like an hour, but it's still amazing, right?
You get
Yeah.
a little sweetness when you mix both of them and that bread in it. A little surprising on that, but it's delicious.
You're probably tasting the sweetness too. This the barrel aged, Wesley was asking earlier, is a little sweeter than regular vinegar too, on purpose, because it's got higher grape must content. So this, you could put this on ice cream, also cottage cheese, yogurt. It's all purpose finish. We eat a lot of red sauce, the boss and I.
Fair.
And I finish it with this to the sweetness really
Mozzarella, basil,
cuts through all the
tomatoes,
acidity of the
little
tomatoes.
red.
Yeah.
Yep. That'd be really good. What else? What else did you have for us today?
All right. So I also made up our combination of white balsamic vinegar
Mhm.
with our regular Frantoia from Sicily, single estate, and then a little bit of the dry seasoning that we use to make cold pasta salad.
Okay.
So this
cold
one we'll
pasta
just pass
salad,
around and dip in there, Cody, with a little bit of bread.
You know what? The black truffle, I would suggest using it with an Alfredo sauce. Put it in the Alfredo sauce and open up when you're making the roux for the Alfredo sauce.
Yeah.
And supplement the olive oil with for a little butter, and then
we make some pretty good Alfredo sauce at home too, homemade.
So okay, let's go in for this. What type? You said there's tomatoes in here.
So yeah, this is our wild garlic dry blend, which it was just coincidence that we moved in right next to Wild Garlic, the restaurant, and we sell a spice called wild garlic. So it was fate, I guess. But
that is savory.
That comes in a dry jar. I should have brought one actually to show you. And you just add a little warm water to bring it back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add it to whatever you want, soup, anything.
Okay. And then you have a couple more samples for us here.
Yeah, we've also got, let's go with our most popular salad dressing is our raspberry lemon spinach salad.
Okay.
And it's our raspberry balsamic, which the gal that makes these won a Sophie Food Award for. And then our Sicilian lemon olive oil.
Wow. Sicilian lemon. What's important about the Sicilian lemon?
It's Sicilian.
So it's it's a little threatening. I mean, what is it?
Lemons in Sicily have a unique flavor, I guess. Yeah.
The best limoncello is from Sicily, right? Because it's a little sweeter.
That's exactly right. Just had
a little higher.
The better half would love that sauce right there.
We just had a customer in yesterday asking about limoncello shots.
Do you guys have them?
We do not, no. But I wrote it down for something to add.
Oh, wow.
I know someone who makes really great limoncello.
So imagine that on a spinach salad, Wesley.
My better half.
Put that on chicken.
Anything. This stuff's good on everything. So that's what makes this all fun is you can experiment yourself. You get the smaller bottles that are a little less expensive, and you can just play with them. Mix them, and then you find what you love, and you come and you get a bigger bottle of everything.
So I don't think we're going to open it, but let's talk about it really quick. So you also brought in a wine right before the break. You know, we get about a minute and a half left. But this is one of the wines that you really like.
Yeah. So I didn't even like rosé before this, but this is our top-selling wine, and I call it it's the best rosé in all of Arizona. We sell a lot of it. It's called Fondrèche. It's French from the Rhone region of France. And that's something we've learned that the French make really good wine. But this rosé, we ran out for a while. It starts a small family estate, and we couldn't get it for a while. So we tried a bunch of others nearby, other wineries, single estate, and nothing came close to this one. And the price is really good too.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll have to try it next time maybe. And we're going to go into another break. I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be right back with more. Special thank you to our sponsors, Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Vera Oral Premium Beef, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Your Financial Guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levany Wellness Center, Allegra Print, Mail, and Signs, Copper State Forge. Stay tasty, Tucson. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're here with Cody Peck of Network Outdoors.
Hi,
good
Wes.
to see you again.
It's good to see you.
You know, I should probably get you on camera here. That would probably be helpful.
Oh, man, I was hoping to hide out this time.
There we go. And we have some special guests. Seared Living just left. They had to go back to work, but we brought the meeting room in. And they're in Sonoyta.
We were there
last weekend.
Last Sunday, right?
And they're always, like when I'm driving by, my car drives itself into the meeting room every time. I cannot control it.
Well, as we were going around Sonoyta, the entire time he was like, I want to go there. I'm going there. I'm going there. I want to go there. He was very excited, like the winery right before you guys. He was like, I'm done with my tasting. And everyone else is
Let's
like,
go.
We still have like a few more to go through. And he's like, nope, I'm done.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And you brought some meads in for us, but we're going to try those in a little bit. What I wanted to know is, why did you start the meeting room? Because, I mean, mead, first of all, well, okay, let's start with that, right? What is a mead? And then we can go, why did you start the meeting room in Sonoyta?
Yeah. So mead basically is just the common ingredient is just that it's fermented honey. So, but it's the oldest. I guess it's kind of debatable, but the oldest alcoholic beverage out there. I know there's evidence in like 7,000 BC in China, but kind of all over different cultures all over the world have made versions of mead. But it's always fermented honey. So,
do you still use the spit to make the mead? Because that's how it was originally made, right? They would chew it up and spit it into the barrel, right?
I mean, it could be done. I wouldn't admit it, but
No.
That's one we haven't done yet.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, we don't. But that's how it was made originally, wasn't it?
I mean, so one thing with mead that like it differs from wine is that with grapes, it has like the native yeast that are already on the grape that can start fermentation. But with mead, you have to start the fermentation. So by adding yeast, which is everywhere. So
you pitch the yeast just like with beer.
Yeah, you would pitch the yeast, and that whether it's like a commercial yeast that you're adding, which is a little easier to work with because it's more predictable, or a wild yeast, which we actually did recently. We did a collab. I brought it today, but we did a collab that was a wild yeast ferment with Queen of Cups Winery, which is in Patagonia.
Yes.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool. They have some very interesting.
So what
well.
makes it wild versus non-wild?
Cultured?
So for that one, because it's a mead that's it's a type of mead called a piment, which is basically when you ferment grapes with honey. So with this one, we were able to like introduce grapes that had the natural yeast that were on the skins, which started the fermentation.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
So there's a winery out there that only are exclusive or out by you guys, just past you. I won't say the name right now, but they exclusively do wild yeast for their wines. Yeah, and you're going to say it anyways.
Yeah.
All right. And because we're talking about the meeting room, and but. So it's just something that's naturally happening now. Back in the day, Cody, you were talking about how they would make mead and they'd put it underneath trees, and anything that fell into it, and that's how they fermented it. Is that
kind of like that? But yes and no. But I'm just more fascinated with the fact that they actually found a time off tablet in Egypt, with the fact that you could get days off of work for brewing beer and making mead.
You got a day off of work for making
alcohol?
Yeah,
I don't know,
cool.
Mom. I feel like I need one of those.
Isn't every day making mead day for you?
Yeah, pretty much these days.
So with your mead, do you guys add other items in it? You know, when you do whiskey, you got your mash, your corn, your wheat, and obviously your beer, your hops and barley and other stuff. With mead, is it anything else that you guys add to that?
So we use a lot of local ingredients. So we'll do things like prickly pear or ocotillo flowers. What else, Kylie?
And we do our best to use local ingredients. That's kind of our mission. But sometimes we venture out. Like we have one that has raspberries, which is super popular, Space Cowboy. But we also do traditionals, and a traditional mead would be a mead that's going to be honey only, and which is nice because then you're really tasting that variety of honey and understanding the differences in those. So we also like to represent the honeys too. But yeah, we do add a lot of different ingredients.
Awesome.
Now, for your honey, do you do it with the different types of plants? Because I know honey will taste different based off of the plant that the bees are going to.
Yeah, we definitely do. We use local honeys a lot, like local, like desert wildflower honey, which would be anything that's been really like, it's just geographically wildflower changes, time of year it changes.
Right.
But it's just going to be whatever the bees have gone to in the immediate area. But then we use like mesquite blossom honey and sometimes go a little further. And my mom likes to go on road trips a lot, and she'll pick up like unique varietals from other states. Like I think recently, what did you get? Like carrot blossom or?
Yeah, we got some Huillo honey, which is a sage honey from Texas. Sunflower honey from South Dakota.
Do you find it's difficult to source the honey?
So as So it's what becomes more difficult for us is getting large quantities of honey. So it's easy to find local beekeepers, but it's a little bit harder to find. We'll use anywhere from 300 to 600 pounds of honey per batch.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So it's quite a bit. So that's a little bit harder, but we do.
And that's without the wax, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that's even more honey
Yep.
than you would think.
That's pure honey. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So quite a bit.
Wow, how many bottles do you get out of a batch with that much honey?
So we typically do about 1,000 bottles in a batch.
Goodness.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that's the size we do. But yeah, you could do larger or smaller. Sometimes we'll do smaller if we have, like a specialty batch. We're trying something new, or we have small quantities of honey. We'll do a smaller batch than that.
Okay. And do you, Kylie, or you, Barbara, you guys are directly involved with the mead making?
Yep,
Yeah.
we're the mead makers or the mazers. Yep.
I was going to call them meters, but
Yeah. Yeah.
And just to make sure, so if you are looking for the meeting room, it is the meeting, MEADING. I struggled with that last weekend, so I deleted the live podcast. But and
You
you're
guys struggle
located-
speaking English in general, so
I save it all for Saturdays, Cody. You know that. But you guys are located right there in Sonoyta, and you go down, 82?
Yeah, we're just a couple miles down the road
East.
from the crossroads. Yeah.
Yep. And you're on the left-hand side. The first couple times I tried to find you, I drove past the entrance because it sneaks up on you a little bit, so you have to slow down and take your time. But you're right past Hops and Vines.
Yeah.
Are you guys associated with Hops and Vines at all?
Just friends and neighbors. I used to work
course.
there. That's kind of like where I got my start in the industry. So, and they were like super encouraging and wanted me to go off and do my own things one day. So
cool.
then my mom and I got the property together and started.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
that's actually one of the things that's really cool about Sonoyta in general, and that is that you get really a lot of the community that comes together. In fact, one of our good friends and one of our sponsors, Vero Premium Beef, Sonora, comes on the show all the time.
Right.
And she's been on the show.
She's a childhood friend of mine too.
and it's all
Yeah.
connected, right?
And we've had their cows on our property at
On your
times.
property.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a big ranch out there, but their cows are so tasty. I mean, I don't know, if I had them wander onto the property, I would be, come here, let's go to the back room here. I'm just kidding. But it would be very tempting. In fact, when we went out and did the tour out there, I asked her if it'd be weird to go chew on one of the cows because I know what it tastes like. And she was like, yeah, that'd be a little weird, but the cow probably wouldn't like it too much.
Yeah.
And then she told me that the chefs are not allowed to wear their chef jackets when they go out to the ranch, just in case, because we don't want to spook the cows. But so with the mead, going back to the mead, so you have probably at least, you almost have 24 flavors right now, right? A variety,
Yeah, they're not all on the menu at once, but
right?
excuse me, we have quite a variety. We have fun experimenting with it, so we're constantly making new flavors, and honestly we probably should pare it down a little bit, but
No, that's awesome. And when you first started, and I stumbled into the meeting room, I think right as you guys opened for the first time, and became a very loyal customer. And we've been so busy that it was the first time in probably a year that I'd been out there, but until last weekend. That's why I was so excited to go out there. So I'm going to the meeting room, and they're going to be on my show next weekend. But you had maybe one or you had 3 meads on the menu when I first walked in.
oh yeah.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4, and so you're going from that to this, and you have enough to sell it to the public.
Yeah, I mean, even every year we've pretty much doubled our production, although I think last year probably more than doubled it. So that's been
Okay.
pretty, not only have we added to the menu, but like the size of our batches, we've had to upgrade tanks and equipment and everything every
Fair
year.
enough.
So
Wow, that's
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. What would be the perfect mead for fish? A
Fish.
white buttery fish.
I don't know, Mom.
I'd go with one of our lighter meads without fruit added to it. We add a lot of fruit, but yeah,
Oh,
probably.
you know what? This the collab that I was talking about. It's a sparkling, and it's like super light citrus honey, which is citrus and sunflower honey, which is super nice for, I would think, for fish.
All right, last question before the break, and that's from Joshua, our consultant chef for the show, and very loyal coffee drinker with us. He's here in the studio with us today. Thank you for being here. How long does it take to make?
So
ferment-wise, right?
Yeah, primary fermentation, which is it takes about 2 weeks, and from there we'll let it settle. We'll add additional fruit. We might add spices. The whole process from start to finish is about 2 to 3 months,
unless it's barrel aged.
And
we
right.
do barrel age, whether it's in whiskey barrels, tequila barrels, or even just like neutral oak barrels. Some of those they'll age quite a bit longer.
And then you're looking at a year or two.
Yeah.
And a year or two, okay. And then we'll
have
a
year or two, okay.
We're going to write down that question. We'll be right back after this very short break. I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. Special thank you to our sponsors, Kiki Rogers Country Financial Insurance, Viral Premium Beef, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, Allegra Print Mail Sign and Signs, Copper State Forge, and Stay Tasty Tucson. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're in the middle of an amazing conversation about mead from the meeting room right here in Sonoyta. And it's right down the street from Viral Premium Beef. And you can go in there and get some amazing beef, take it down, and they'll grill it for you at the... No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be awesome if they did that.
That would be cool. Actually, maybe we should do something like that.
Are we doing that? We're doing that now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. All right. We'll R&D that a little bit more later off air. But thank you to our sponsors. That's Kiki Rogers Country Financial Insurance, Viral Premium Beef, Mafia Kitchen, Novus Vita, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, Allegra Print Mail and Signs, and Copper State Forge. And so happy to be able to do this and have you guys here and have these companies support you being here.
Oh,
yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes, and this is Barbara and Kylie of the meeting room, and we still have Cody Peck. He has chained himself to the desk in the back corner.
I did that. You're stuck with me now.
So we can't get rid of him. That's okay. So you had a question for...
Yes, I do have a question. So if you're putting these meads into barrels for about a year or two, how does that affect your guys' mead versus an unbarreled mead?
So a lot of the barrels we get from either distilleries or wineries. So they've already had a product in them. So what we're looking for is them to pick up some of the flavor. For instance, one of the ones we brought today has been in a Whiskey Del Bach mesquite whiskey barrel.
Ooh.
And so it'll actually pick up some of that flavor as well.
Wow.
That sounds delicious.
It does.
But that's not what we're going to talk about today. So you did open some mead, and this is the traditional one?
I did. No, actually, we did bring that Del Bach one, but I'm going to have you taste that one last because it's a little smokier. And yeah, but no, I also brought the Lavender Pear, which is a session mead, which just basically means that it's a lighter carbonated mead. And then we brought that collab I was talking about with Queen of Cups, the pie mint.
Well, I hope it's okay if I use a plastic cup.
Yeah, we got plastic cups.
Well, I've got legit cups for you if you want a real one.
We'll pass those over to to the people in the corner if that's okay.
Okay.
And so tell us about the tasty notes on these as you're opening them and starting to pour them. What are you looking for when you first sip them? Barbara?
So basically, she's pouring the collaboration we did, which was with
Carignan grapes.
Carignan
so we
grapes.
picked those locally in Sonoyta, actually, at Anamcara Vineyards, and those ones we foot pressed. They were pressed immediately, and then we blended it with the honey, and we used sunflower and citrus honey, which are lighter honeys. Like citrus honey, you definitely get the citrus notes on that, and then sunflower I don't know. What do you think about sunflower?
Yeah, sunflower is another light, golden colored honey. Doesn't have real strong flavor from it. It's crisp.
Yeah. So that's why it's lighter in color because we press those grapes immediately, and then that one was a wild ferment, like I was talking about.
Now, you said
This
foot
is-
press.
Yeah.
As in, you guys actually stood on the grapes
Yeah.
with your feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Foot press is actually like it obviously is like an older process, but it also serves a purpose in winemaking because you get like an uneven crush of the grapes, which like releases different at different times. Then you're getting like throughout fermentation, flavors are being like released and it's fermenting at a different.
Oh, okay. So this is actually
That
really
was not a very good explanation, but
an amazing. No, it was great. This is really amazing. Different type of meat. I don't know if I've had this one, but you get these. It's almost like a wine, but then you have these sweet notes that kind of sneak up on you. So you're hitting that little bit of peppery and then the sweet. It's good.
It is good.
yeah, you definitely taste the grapes on this. But you do get those like notes of honey, and I think it's nice because it's a dry variety, which a lot of people are not familiar with. Dry meads, they usually taste like the super sweet, heavier meads. And this one, I think the nice thing about dry meads is that, or drier meads, which we tend to make a lot that are going to be more semi-sweet as opposed to super sweet, is that you can pick up on the notes of the honey a little bit, like the nuances of the honey. So
that was very good. So the next one is
lavender pear.
lavender pear.
Lavender pear.
So what's interesting about our lavender pear is we have a lavender field out there at the winery, and we grow the lavender. So we harvest it every season, and we use it in our lavender pear mead.
All right. So going in for a sample now. You can go down to the meeting room and you can have 5 samples, small pours of a flight, and try it out, so you know what to buy after you've tasted it, right?
Yes, we offer flights, and you get to pick. We have 15 things on the menu right now, and you're able to pick the ones that interest you, flavors that interest you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with this lavender, the lavender definitely hits on the nose. I mean, right off the bat, you can tell that it's very floral, but it still has that sweet from the honey.
Yeah, it does. That one's going to be desert wildflower honey. So that's a classic that we use a lot just because there's a lot of it, and it's great flavor. So, and I think it really represents, I think this one for us, we're really proud of because it really represents kind of like who we are. We're using local pears. We planted a bunch of pear trees. They're not producing yet, so we're not using those quite yet. But that's with the pears and then the lavender that we're growing and the Arizona honey. It just feels very like representation
when you say
of
wildflower honey, I'm not expecting to taste that floral, and you get that with the lavender. That's
sure.
a really amazing one. And then you brought one more in for us.
Yeah, this is the mesquite and honey, which is mesquite blossom honey. And then this is the one she was talking about. That's going to be
in the Del Bach.
In whiskey Del Bach barrels, yeah.
Whiskey
So
Del
this
Bach
one-
barrel aged mead.
Yeah, this one is definitely going to be smoky. You're going to taste a little whiskey. You're going to taste the smokiness of that barrel. And it's going to be higher alcohol. This is a 14%er, so it's more of a sipper.
What are the other two?
The first one you tried is 12%, the bubbly. And then the bubbly lavender pear, the session mead, is 6.8.
So with all of these, I mean, you get you do get really different notes on each, and you get a very clean one for the first one, and
kind
that
of
one
a clean wine tasting. You get it like a white wine.
Like
and
put it in a tumbler and sit in the pool and drink it. And the second one, you definitely get the lavender, a little
and
bit
the
more
floral notes coming right in.
And
with
this
the
one,
sweet.
you're drinking it slowly, small amounts, maybe with an ice cube, and it's such a diverse. Who knew you could do all of this with honey?
Yeah.
Like, I know about hot honey, but that's about the extent of my knowledge. So it's super exciting. How can everybody get a hold of you?
Social media is are your best bet. We do a lot on social media, posting our events. That's the other thing, is we host a lot of events out there. We have a Green Chili Festival coming up September 14th, I believe, because we make a green chili wine. Right. So, excuse me. And then, social media, Instagram, Facebook, we're on there as the Meeting Room AZ, and then our website. And you can also order from our website. We do shipping in refrigerated delivery in state, and then shipping to most other states. Not all, but most.
Nice. So as Mazers, what is the one thing you recommend to keep in your kitchen at all times that you two both keep in your kitchen?
Oh, it looks like we're gonna have to pick up
Honey?
that answer. Go to YouTube and check it out. They say honey, but thank you so much for joining us today on the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll see you next week and every week. We'll have the owners and the creator of HD Sauce. That's Not Your Mama's Chamoy's hot sauce. Super excited about that. And then we'll also have the Brick Box Brewers in here. That's the new Brick Box Brewers is the one that took over Thunder Canyon Brewery.
Okay.
And thank you to our special guests and sponsors. That's Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Vera Earl Premium Beef, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, Allegra Print Mail Signs, Copper State Forge. I'm your host, Stay Tasty Tucson.